What do you know about the United States of America?
United States of America.
We're still stuck into the slavery kind of a thing, you know.
Like, I feel like most of cultures in the US, most of them have been adopted here. Do you think there's anything new that those black Americans moving here will be introducing? Could you shed light on the maybe stereotypes the black Americans have about Africa in general?
One of the key contributors is.
Hello and welcome back to Z Index. My name is John. On Saturday, we went back to the streets and had an opportunity to interview more Kenyans about how they perceive the United States and the idea of black Americans moving back to Kenya.
Kenya, Nairobi.
What do you think about Kenya?
I think Kenya it's a cool place to live, you know. It's a great country, so I'm proud to be a Kenyan actually. Yeah.
Do you have like any negatives about Kenya as a Kenyan?
The negativity about Kenya, you know, there must be some faults, but the positive are much better, you know, are much more.
Yeah. If you can give an example.
Of a negative
Yeah, you can give a negative or positive both.
or positive. The positive is like the nature and stuff, you know. Then the negative about Kenyans itself is that we're still stuck into the slavery kind of a thing, you know. Yeah.
Can you elaborate?
Elaborate about the slavery thing. Okay. You know, like the way, like you see, the president went to the USA and sat on the seat, you know. And then I saw the people in Haiti demonstrating, you know, because they took the police to Haiti. That was kind of like a slavery move, you know, taking people and that mentality.
Can I say you mean something like neo-colonialism?
Yeah. The colonialism, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you know about the United States of America?
United States of America. I like I'm a hip hop fan, so I like the USA States, like people like Kendrick, J. Cole, and stuff. Yeah, I rock with them.
Black Americans moving back to Africa, like maybe some of them feel like it's unsafe in the US, maybe because of racism, gun violence, and stuff like that. What do you think about that?
Sure. You know, one thing I know about this, they went there as slaves, you know, but Africa was their motherland, you know. So they should feel free to come to Kenya whenever they want, you know. Yeah, it should be cool, man. They should come and start a life if they want to. Yeah, I support that narrative actually. Yeah.
And what do you think about the gun violence in the US?
Gun violence in the US. The gun violence in USA, it has come to, it's uncontrollable, you know, like there are too many guns. I saw Barack saying about that thing. So, I don't know, because I see even more rapper being shot in the streets and stuff. So I can say they should come to Kenya if they feel unsafe there, you know. Yeah.
Can you tell me like what you think is the cause of gun violence?
Racism it can be number one because, you know, like you can see Floyd, you know the incident of the Floyd, the police brutality and stuff. That's the main thing that is causing the gun violence. Because if the police are like are attacking the black people, you know, the blacks in the other side they can go and buy some guns, you know. I think that's the start from my own perspective. That is.
You see, in most cases, let's say you hear like black Americans shooting each other. What do you think about that?
Black shooting the black. Oh, that's kind of weird, but I don't know the main cause because I've not been there. But I feel like maybe the interstates, you know, like the West Coast and the East Coast, you know, like the beef and stuff, maybe some sort of the thing.
To any black American planning to come to Kenya, your word to them?
My word to all black Americans planning to come to Kenya, maybe, is one love. Like Bob Marley said, you know, one love, peace and love, you know. Welcome to Kenya. Yeah. Inshallah.
Thank you. Where are you from?
I'm from Kamulu.
Kamulu.
Yes.
Where is Kamulu?
Kamulu is in your way to Machakos, in the border between Nairobi and Machakos. Yeah.
Okay. What can you tell me about Kenya?
Kenya is a beautiful country for all. Yeah.
What do you know about the US?
US, from what I've heard, It's a first world country. Yes. It is a well-developed country. A rich country, a powerful country. Yes.
So your opinion on the US itself?
US. Mm, no comments.
We've heard about the black Americans planning to move back to Africa. What's your thought on this idea?
Well, the moving back to Africa, it's a good idea. So it can bring a lot of change to Africa itself. So when they move back, they bring a lot of change. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
Do you think there is going to be any negatives because of this movement?
Yeah, a lot of negative. Not very much, but there's some few of negativity. So like maybe they'll bring their culture, their way of living. Maybe they will interrupt our culture and introduce their Western culture, which may interrupt where we interact with each other and everything.
So personally, I feel like Kenya is a very much westernized country in a way. Like I feel like most of cultures in the US, most of them have been adopted here. Do you think there is anything new that those black Americans moving here will be introducing?
Well, maybe the Gen Zs. They have copied a lot of Western culture. So as people, 90s kids, we are very African culture. Yes. So some other things they will bring new culture, maybe their modern way of dressing. You see us, we wear the way we dress. We dress like Africans. Yes. So they will bring their other way of dressing, maybe their lifestyle, posh cars, and yes.
Okay. To any black American like planning to move to Africa or maybe planning to move to Kenya or any other country in Africa, you are what to them?
Kenya is a beautiful country, open to all. They come, they bring positive and more investment to us. Yeah. Everybody, either black, white, welcome to Kenya. Kenya is a beautiful country. They will enjoy.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Kenya, to be specific, Nairobi.
So, what do you know about Kenya? What can you tell us about Kenya?
Kenya is a country, my country, which I'm proud of, and a patriotic citizen. And Kenya is one of the countries, a gateway to Africa and East Africa at large, and one of the leading economies in Africa. Yeah.
Do you have any negatives about Kenya as a Kenyan citizen?
Of course we do, which it has become a menace. For example, cases of corruption and the lack of nationalism. We cannot identify ourselves as nationals. We are still cocooned in the tribal politics, and it influences our thoughts and even the policies, and every other idea that we discuss on is much influenced by that. So if we can be able to address corruption and find a solution to that, then we can have confidence with our country. And also we get to realize that we are only fighting three enemies, not ourselves, not any other person, but poverty, ignorance, and also in health, or let's say health issues. Those are the great enemies that we have as a country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So today's question: what do you know about the US? Your opinions and your perception about the United States?
United States is one of the superpower country in the world, competing against China and Russia, and one of the key allies for Kenyans. It's now 60 years since we initiated our relationship with the US, and recently we saw the state visit by the President of Kenya, William Ruto, to US. So US is one of the key partner to Kenya, and also in terms of development, the contribution that they've made in the malaria sector, CDC, the PMI, they've been very impactful in our country, and also their influence in Africa. Yeah, that's what they are striving on right now. Yeah.
So do you have any negatives about the United States?
Do I really have to say it here? I don't think it's necessary. But I think every other country have their own positive and negative. And we hope that we can be able to address those issues and find a solution which is long-term. Yeah, for the cases of Africa at large, we still have some issues that need to be addressed in terms of political, economical. Are we ensuring that the third world countries can develop? Can we give them immunity? Which policies are they having for Africa and even Kenya to be specific? So until we are able to address that, there's some other issues that need country discussion, which I may not mention here, that we can be able to deal with these issues.
Black Americans like moving back to Africa. What do you think about this?
That's a good initiative, which will eventually happen in due time. It will be called Exodus. There's a gap that needs to be breached between the Black Americans in the US and the Africans themselves. We are not addressing this issue because the perception the Black Americans have about Africa is totally different from what you are seeing here.
Could you shed light on the maybe stereotypes the Black Americans have? Maybe shed light on that?
In Kenya, or
About Africa in general, about Africans in general.
one of the key contributors is this platform we are using right now, media. The way Africa has been deployed is poverty, disaster, diseases, but that is the image that have been brought out, and it has become the understanding of the Black Americans about Africa. But Africa has a lot of things to offer. In fact, we have a huge land, which if these guys come in right now, we can reserve. You see, Kenya is asking people to move so that they can erect the housing initiative. We can as well look how we can accommodate them, and they bring expertise into our country. So we need to address those issues like poverty, diseases which have been identified with Africa. That is not literally what happened. We saw the rain, it came, the drought came and it went, and we are still here. And that's what makes us being humans. We ought to have challenges. Even before we came to be able to put on clothes, we were walking naked. But because of the coldness and the situation that we were exposed in, that we were able to come up with those ideas. And we, as Africa, we really like challenges and problems so that we can be able to find solutions to them.
We like problems.
Now, because of the information, perception, and the kind of content they've been exposed regarding Africa and especially Kenya, we cannot be able to address that, because until that gap is addressed, then we are able to see them coming back. But nothing is being done at the moment to at least even lure them to come back. But our brothers out there, come back home and invest. We find solution to our problems. You realize that by 2050, in every 4 people, 3 people will be coming from Africa. We need your impact, we need your knowledge, wisdom, skills, and every other aspect that needs to make Africa a better place to be. We don't need to tell you. You need to be proud of where you come. This color defines who we are. And there's no country in the world where there's no black person. But because of what has happened, it doesn't determine who we are. It's where we are and where we want to be that determines who we are and how we identify. Welcome back home. We do not want to be yearning to come to America. You need to bring America here now, that for all these years you've been away, and welcome back home. You know, Kenya is the cradle of mankind. Yeah, Turkana has Nairobi Tome, the longest living found fossil is in Kenya. So this is home, and you're welcome.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nairobi, Kenya.
What do you know about the United States of America?
United States of America is a good country. As you can see, some few days ago, you can see our President William Ruto visited the President of America, and you can see he donated some funds, and he promised to improve the Kenyan army to go to train there. You can see also the highway to go to Mombasa. We love the six lane. Yeah, I can see USA they are helping us much.
Do you have any negative perception about the country itself?
The countries there.
Yeah.
There are some negativities, yes, because you can see some of them, they have brought us some archaic culture. For example, you can see you have some gayism, you see, the lesbianism. They have encouraged, and they are giving some younger youth some money, which I cannot see if they are of good produce to them, because later they may affect them. Some of them they may end up becoming barren, you see. Yeah.
Is this like trusted information or something like that?
It is not trusted information, but these are things that you are seeing on social media. They are just moving around, and so we can see it cannot be good anymore. Yeah.
So there's this idea about Black Americans coming back to Africa. What's your thought about this?
The black Americans coming to Africans, it is a good idea, but we don't know how they are coming to Africa. We don't know how they will come, the impact that they will bring. Because we as Africans, when the black Americans go there, they see us, we are left here, they see us that we are somehow abnormal. We are not understanding the things how they are going. So they come from there, they bring us some things, some new things, which some of them they are good to try, and some of them they may harm us later. Yeah.
Do you have an example?
An example of vitu kaa hizo.
Yeah, things like that. Do you have an example of things you said that might say harm us in the future?
Uh, First thing, it is the debt. It is the debt that the government is taking now. Yeah, this debt I think that it can harm us in future, because what if there in Mombasa? Yeah?
No. What I'm trying to ask is like the black Americans moving back to Kenya, like moving back to Kenya or any other African country. Like, what's your opinion on this? Like black Americans moving back to Africa.
To Africa.
Yeah, black Americans.
Yeah.
Moving back to Africa. What's your opinion on this?
Me, I can support them to move back, because they have come with new ideas from America. And so if they come and they interact with us, the Africans who are here, they can change our minds, and we can be able to think more and more and positive, in a positive way and in a positive manner.
Okay, so your words to any black American planning to move to Kenya or any other country in Africa?
What I can tell is the black Americans who need to come back to Kenya, they are very much welcome. Yeah, and I like them. Even me, I like even the movies I love watching. Some of them like Kevin Hart. You know Kevin Hart? It's a black American. He's a good fan of them.
He's an interesting guy.
He's an interesting guy. Yeah, they are good.
Where are you from?
I'm from Nairobi, Kasarani.
So tell us about Kenya. What do you know about Kenya?
Kenya is one of the best countries in Africa. Kenya is one of the countries that has in the sub-Saharan Africa. It's the only country in the Silicon Savannah which has a wealth of I can say the wildlife.
Okay, say, do you have any negatives about Kenya as a Kenyan citizen?
No. As a Kenyan citizen, I have to defend my country, bro. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So today's question, if I may ask, what's your opinion on the United States of America?
The United States of America is a superpower. Let's start with that one. So, because it's a superpower, Kenya and USA have a strong bilateral relationship. We can see recently the head of state was there, marking the 60 years of anniversary. The strong brotherhood or the sisterhood that Kenya and USA are embracing is something that we should really focus on, and I know it has brought a lot of benefits to this country. And soon, and very soon, you'll be seeing all those agreements which has been put in place by the president and the president of the United States. We are going to see them being actualized in real time, if only we stay positive and true to that.
Okay. Do you have any negative perception about the US?
Negative perception about the US, I don't think so, because personally I want to go to the US, so it's a good country. I have that feeling that the US is a good country. Others may say that we are the puppets to the US, but no, I don't think so.
Don't think so.
Yeah.
So what about the gun violence, racism that we've heard maybe from the news about black Americans experiencing in the US? What can you say about that?
There's this slogan which says Black Lives Matter. So when we tend to look in this way, that there's no country which doesn't face violence. It's only that when violence occurs to the black people, that's when I think we tend to think that we are the only ones who are being met by the violence. But it's something which, violence is not something which is planned. You see, it's something that just comes across to anybody. It doesn't matter whether you're black, you're white, you're Caucasian. It doesn't matter, bro. So violence, either black or white, is something, it happens.
We've been asking about the idea of black Americans coming back to Africa. What do you think about this?
Black Americans coming back to Africa. Wow, that's a good thing because they are ours. We can't disown them. You see, history has it that during the black, it's called the Renaissance period. That's when we were split up. You see, so if they come back to Africa, it's well and good because it's our blood. They are our brothers and sisters. We have to embrace them. Yeah.
Okay. So, to any black American planning to come to Kenya, your words to them?
Karibu sana. Welcome to Kenya. Feel free. This is your home. This is your cradle. This is where you were born. This is where your ancestors were born. So, just welcome. Feel free.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell? I see you're carrying so many cameras. What do you do? Like maybe do you have like a channel? Maybe people can look at your work.
My name is Shen 254 in all the platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Shen 254. I do photography. I'm a freelancer, by the way. I do photography, videography, and I'm a journalist by profession. So in case you want to hook me up with some gigs, well and good. Otherwise, thank you, man.
Thank you so much. Yeah, what's your name and where are you from?
Hi, my name is Lupita Lochi. I'm from Kenya. Yes, my dad is a Sudanese, my mama is a Kenyan. Yes.
Which town?
Which town? Nanyuki is my town, but then I'm working in Nairobi and also schooling. Yes.
Okay. So, what can you tell us about Kenya?
Kenya is a nice place to be. Good environment. People are genuine and they're really good. Yeah, they're just nice people. They are nice people to spend time with. Just don't cross their lane. Yeah.
What about Sudan?
Sudan. Yeah, Sudan is a nice country too, but then I've not been there I haven't lived in Sudan for a long time. Yes, I just moved out when I was just 5 years old. So I know nothing much about it. My whole time I've been in Kenya and I'm really, yes.
Do you feel like at this moment you have like any negatives about Kenya?
No, any negativity about Kenyans? No, I don't think so. I think it's really cool. Yes.
Okay. So what do you know about the United States of America?
United States of America, nothing much about them, but I don't know. Yes, nothing much about them. I think they are good people. Some of them are good. According to things we see, some are good, some are, I don't know. Yes.
Okay. So today's question is like the idea of black Americans moving back to Africa. What do you think about that?
It's a cool idea because they should be back to where they originated from. Their color fits in Kenya or in Africa. Yes, because to avoid discrimination and all that, because you get some, I've seen videos of people maybe passing by, and if you're black, they won't help you, but of their own skin color, you can see them helping, and I'm like, hey, why should they not come back to their country or to where they originated from? Yes.
So have you heard about the gun violence in the US?
No, haven't heard about it. I have not. No, I have no much idea about it.
Okay.
Yes.
So for any black American coming to Kenya, your words to them?
Oh, they should feel welcome because this is their home. It's a nice place. Kenya is a nice place. Business, creating friends and opportunities, I guess that is good for them. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. If you like our content, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for next video uploads next week. In fact, we intend on going to Chinatown here in Nairobi and maybe get to explore and see what we can get out of that place. So yeah, we'll see you next week. The next video coming next week. So take care.